How do you know when you're casting or hiring the right people for a film project? How do you know when, you're hiring somebody who's going to screw you over months later, or somebody who's just going to make your life incredibly difficult and put white hair in your beard, or just make you question your life choices? And how do you choose someone who's going to make your life easy, who's going to show up for you, who's going to bring passion and excitement to what you're doing? And whose fault is it for choosing one or the other? You're going to find all that out in this video. And a little bit of an answer is, it's your fault. You're making the mistake. And if you watch this video, I'm going to give you an explanation on how to pick this better, how to pick these people better, and my experience with it. Enjoy. I'm Thomas Proffitt. I've spent the last 15 years working to become my generation's Nolan, Tarantino, and Tarkovsky rolled into one in a way anyone can afford. I share about my journey, lessons I learn along the way, and my faith. If this resonates with you, hit subscribe. Welcome to Movie Maker Ministry. So I wanted to make a video about this very important distinction I made in my work, where I used to, and I think a lot of people make this mistake, even the best filmmakers, even famous filmmakers and well-known filmmakers, they make this choice, and they don't see it as a mistake. I kind of do at this point. It's going for the person who is, chasing an actor or crew member, or somebody who's hard to get, who's who you're like, oh, I have to fight for this person to be in my film. I have to, that they are so qualified. They have following, they have fame, or they have this personality. They have the character in them, all this. They're so talented. All those things are valid, right? And as people, especially people who grew up with parents who often, if we get into filmmaking, we want the person who doesn't pay attention to us because that's what we're used to, and that's why we got into this in the first place. And so we approach casting the same way, or hiring people the same way. We like to hire people who, we feel like we have to fight to earn and keep. And no, stop it. Don't hire the person who feels the most qualified in your mind, because often they're not. The person you should be hiring is the person who's called. It's the person who's running towards you, who seems so eager to work with you. Especially like crew members, especially if you're doing a volunteer project, that's critical. If you're doing a low budget film, you should be looking for people and not stopping until you find people who are like, I want to work with you regardless. I don't care. Like, I want to do this thing, even if it's a small role. The people who are willing to do small roles and just to be with you and work with you, they are the people you should be hiring for the main roles. And yes, there's people who are going to be more talented or more qualified than them. But you invest in your relationship with those people, they become that talented, qualified person, especially as a director. If you know how to direct actors, regardless of their ability level, or direct crew and teach people how to do things, if you can take it on yourself to be a teacher of whatever craft that you're working on, you will have more leverage. Less people will be trying to take advantage of you. Less people are going to be putting you into a really bad spot. If you're working with people who you feel like you have to earn, that's a lot of stress on you. And you don't realize it until you're in the thick of filmmaking, where that stress will build, and you get to a point where you're like, oh my gosh, why did I put myself in this position? All these things are just adding up and crunching me down. What you need to be finding are the people who feel called. And I would even go as far as to say, what you choose to put on your project, whether it's a person who's qualified based on their qualification, or the person who's based on how much they were called to work with you. Who you choose and start to choose on the project, suddenly out of the woodworks, people of the same nature start finding your project. If you start picking people who seem difficult, or seem like they're somebody you have to earn to have on the project, or you have to work to have on the project, and it's causing more stress, you're going to find yourself casting or hiring more people like that. And then you're going to start saying, like, why do I keep getting screwed over? Why do I keep having people doing this to me? It's because of you. It's your fault. I would say the same is true of dating. Is like, if you're finding people who are, a problem for you, it's your fault. Why don't you pick the person who's like trying to make your life better? It's because you got into this because you have those flaws from your upbringing, and you have to just learn how to see it a different way. Look for the people who you might not think are the most qualified, or the person you're the most attracted to being in that position or that role. But start to view them, the people who are called, as the people who are the most attractive for that role or the most qualified. And invest in your ability to lead them and guide them through it, as a director. And I'll have videos about that, or as a crew member, and I'll have videos about that too. Learn how to invest in those people and choose them first, because what happens then, and this is coming from, whatever you want to believe, to me, this is God working in my films. God sees me choosing somebody who he called to be on my film. He's going to start sending more people like that. I've witnessed this on my feature film. Like I started hiring, I used to be looking for the people who I felt like I was looking for, like, writer directors, because I wanted to work with people who were also filmmakers, because I'm like, that's the best person to work with, right? Yes, to some degree, but those people are also very busy because they're making their own films and they don't need your film. And what tends to happen is, like, you work for people, or you try to hire people who you think you need to be working with. No, you hire the people who think they need to be working with you. The people who don't really care enough about your project are just causing you stress and actually hurting your project. When you can invest that energy in teaching the people who are called, it's going to be such a thing of peace that it brings to you, and brings so much quality and passion to the project and meaning, because you got all these people who are like, they need this, they want this, and they need you and want to work with you. And that's such an encouragement to do. And when you start choosing those people, suddenly they start finding you, and casting and finding crew becomes a lot less of a heartache and a risk. Like, it starts to click better, especially if you, like, pray on it and say, God, should I be working with this person or this person, this person? And you can, it's like, who deserves more the role? Who's called to it more? This person? Cool. All right, let's go with that person. And, you might at times need a second opinion, because you might be hiring someone and you're like, I didn't see them at first. Like, I've hired someone before who, like, I wasn't sure at first. I didn't even think that I was gonna overlook them. It actually happened a lot over the years. I wouldn't hire someone for something, and then later I'm like, wait a minute, they could do that. Why was I? Oh, it's because I was blinded by this person. Same is true of dating. like you are so blind to someone because you're looking at this other person, or like you're thinking like, this is it. When there's someone here who really feels called to be with you or work with you or anything, that's the person you need to be paying attention to. And I am sure I'm probably making that mistake a bunch in my life, but it's one of those things where you get that right. It gets the project right, and you got a lot less to worry about. And it is actually a really magical thing when you start choosing the people who feel called to you, and then God starts sending more people who are called to work with you, because he's like, okay, you get it now. You're going to start obeying me and giving me, like taking the people that I send you, and you're not going after the person that the devil sends. Because at the end of the day, if you're attracted to working with someone or something, you got to ask yourself, is the devil involved? Do you feel like because if you feel your body and your brain kind of in a fight or flight mode trying to work with a person, that's not somebody you should be working with. That's the devil getting in the way. So be very mindful about that. I hope this video was helpful. If there's anything I can do to help serve you as an audience, let me know in the comments. Let me know if there's a question or problem you're facing, and I'll work to help solve it. I thank you for watching. I pray you have a blessed day. Later.